somehow some people think that I exaggerate, but actually it is scientifically and archaeologically backed up fact. American and German saline, and they found some remainings of pipes. So in 2017, it was officially proven that George Auburn was the one who published a huge article regarding that the amphoras coming from Armenia, you may have heard from them that they are also dating back to 7,000 years ago. But in 2014, even older were found here in Georgia. Yeah, I mean, it is very, very cultural. Everyone gets very shocked, but yeah, it's a very cultural thing. I would say nowadays we don't chug it anymore. We started to enjoy wine because we have such an amazing wine, and you're supposed to actually enjoy it. That's something special. It should be something bigger. Have you noticed buffalo pour your toast and then you drink the whole thing? Or if you are allowed to sip from the glass, you're gonna see now. We're driving on this yellow highway. Also, over here, are you noticing the white dot? With EU constitutional law, she was not supposed to do it, and in the constitutional declaration doesn't want to be part of EU. They are saying that everything bad in the country comes from Europe. I would say the people that mainly left Georgia was in the 90s. Nowadays, my master's in Germany, and then we are going to return back to Georgia. Generation that we have in the government. My friend, for example, bought a BMW convertible to $1,200, fixing it for $10,000. Transit companies that are doing the same thing, buying cars in massive quantities, getting them here, fixing them, and lots of Russians, Armenians, Azerbaijanians, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. Yesterday on the way you saw so many license plates that were with different transit numbers. Because they are some subjects that for law. Yeah, that's it. For law, it is public. Yeah, for law field, for example, it's not totally. Universities are not totally free. Some subjects are totally free, but also for like law, for example, you got government is giving you scholarship. Also, if you study at private university, depending on what fees it has. For example, if a subject costs 10,000 lari, and almost everyone continues with university. We have lots of very high degree tax credits. Everything is sold out all of the time. Yeah,
more than 50 sorry.
Not 50, but new theaters are opening up all the time. I've been trying to get tickets for King Lear. We are already entering the city of Gori. Yep. Gori people are known to be walking in the middle of the street, literally in the middle of the street.
Where did you say that we are now?
Gori.
Gori.
Yes. After this, we're going to Uplistsikhe caves. Then we're going to return back to Gori and have lunch here. Speaking about the lunch, by the way, have you decided whether you want to join set menu or not? Whoever is joining, just show me hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 person, perfect. For the rest of you guys, you can take free time in the city, explore the city on your own. Perfect.
Gori. the city of Gori.
So what was the Stalin, his original Georgian name was not Stalin. It
No,
was,
Stalin is his nickname.
Yeah,
He's yes, he's close, not exactly. You're saying Saakashvili now, which is president's last name. Did you say Saakashvili, right? Yes, his last name was Jurashvili. Yes. Yosef Jurashvili.
Wow.
Yosef Jurashvili. Yes.
So he was born here, huh?
He was born here.
Wow.
We're going to see.
left when he was 4.
There's Stalin. I see Stalin in there. The window, yeah.
You see Stalin in the window? Hitler. Yeah.
It's about to be ready.
Alrighty, I'm gonna send the quantity to the restaurant.
Joseph Stalin. Amazing.
He's
In Moscow.
in Moscow, yeah,
Moscow.
in the wall of Kremlin.
Outside the Kremlin.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I mean, really.
At first he was buried, and then his body, when Khrushchev came into power. I keep saying Hitler. Anytime I say Hitler, think that I mean Lenin. By the way, this is Mtkvari River that you see. Mtkvari River is the same river that flows in Tbilisi too. Mtkvari is the longest river that we have in Georgia. Its international name is Kura. It starts in Turkey, crosses Georgia, Azerbaijan, and then flows down to the Caspian Sea. And in profitable for the country, that is one of the main reasons why Georgia was trade with Europe. They had to go through Georgia and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an intersection. It was.
I see Stalin.
In the museum. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, in the museum, can we pay with a credit card?
Yes, you can pay with card. Yeah.
Museum, okay.
The only time you're gonna need cash is just for lunch. Otherwise, everywhere you can pay with card.
Okay.
Apple Pay, everything works.
You know, I'm amazed with Stalin. He was able to repulse the Operation Barbarossa by Hitler.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Germany was defeated because of that. The Eastern Front.
Yes.
Blitzkriegs were defeated as well.
And they lost 20 millions.
Yep. The Gulag, right? Gulag.
Even though in the end, you can say that Soviets won, they lost 6 times more soldiers than Nazis.
That's right. Yeah. They lost more men. Yeah.
This.
Well,
Not yet, I think, but at some point you will see red pipes in front of every house. That is gas pipes. So gas flows not underground, but at the top. And some people use it as vineyards, small vineyards.
But we noticed yesterday that there were some, let's say, tubes passing over the river. So are all these gas pipelines?
All of them are gas pipes, yes.
pipelines. And where do you get the gas from?
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Because they just didn't have as much support as
Yeah.
Azerbaijan has.
Azerbaijan is Muslim, no?
Azerbaijan is
Muslim.
Muslim, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So the border is still closed,
Wait, they just cannot decide to stop at some of the wine cellars.
Oh.
Parts of the caves.
These are caves, huh?
Walking in some of them too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you been to
Go
Russia?
Istanbul and then-
Airport in Istanbul is nice, but not to buy anything because the prices, the exchange rates are outrageous. I mean, 2 times more expensive than the same items downtown.
Entering the church unless you want.
Okay.
It's up to your choice. On your free time.
So these are wine caves.
Not wine, they're gonna ask you, do you want 50 lari? No, intellectual property. But it's developing now, and I think that's the best time to not bigger than this, but quite big. Tasting is not in a bad way, you know. We have David Gareja, which is the biggest one, and in my personal opinion, the oldest one where we are now, Varzia, which is the biggest one, and David Gareja, which is the most spiritual one, because we have monasteries over there, And that's for Inanna, that's Sumerian's head. Same female representation of the pagan deities. Paganism was huge here. You're going to see different sacrificial places and religious centers. With protecting the of Gori, actually, the other areas of Georgia, but not Tbilisi. Then in 13th century, Silk Road was going all along the Mtkvari River. So if you look to your left, you're going to see the river that is Sikhe too. There are no traces of humans living here. You can see remainings to the left side as well. Those fortifications were, of course, protecting the entrance of the main gate, and they had guards at the top of those fortifications. Guards were protecting the entrance. So at the entrance,
You went up?
we see these two holes.
No, I just went to.
Inside of those two holes, archaeologists found remainings of bones of different animals, which led them to believe that this was most probably a sacrificial place, and so therefore the Silk Road traders were coming to the city and entering to sacrifice them here, so that the gods of Uplistsikhe would welcome them in their city. Yes, there's invaded this place. Do you want me to show you first, Mongolia? If you stand a bit farther away, you're going to be able to discern maybe Soviets did it, or people living here, maybe when they wanted to make this place more of a touristy attraction, they carved it here. Definitely not coming from 13th century, but also it's very fun and entertaining thing to see. You see, there's another lizard over there.
Where?
See?
Oh.
No, it's February.
It looks like he's a little devil. He's poor.
Just slightly. So you're gonna see the tool was a fireplace. Yes, when the rainwater is going inside.
I understand. You can work.
So we're waiting for our tour here in the tour office.
So funny. He's always like, everyone, okay, picture.
You're gonna see that, as I said, we have a triangular style to Georgia. That's why, because we have well unfortunate is that most probably this was not here when the place was functioning as a theater, but afterwards actually have this bluish color. And originally we think that the whole theater was in this blue color, but throughout the time the color itself deteriorated. You'll also see this and yellowish. There's nothing that we can do now, but you see there's a black device right inside. That black device measures how much the yeast infection is spread on the walls. So what we're trying to do is at least relatively ugly looking pillars that were done. These pillars are one of the reasons why UNESCO does not reflect it, and what we have now is just remains of houses. What we are exploring on the city is not the houses, of course. There are huge parts behind as well, and when our was most probably for the book stand. For the book stand, you know, it's typically at the bottom and it raises up. Most probably that's where pagan priests had different prayers on top, and that was just as a book stand. At the bottom part, if you look to the right side, you're going to see two sort of chairs at the edge of the wall. That was also seat for pagan priests. For pagans, they had different priests, but one of them was main priest. In the temple, we can see the influence of different times and different invasions and different architectural styles. You see some Romanian influence on the architectural style, also some Persian details as well, some Georgian architectural style as well, and even the bricks you can make out that they are made in different times. Now, name itself, Blackberry, very unusual name. But actually, the name was given to the temple way later because the bush that
Katie.
yeah, I saw it. I just times. At some point, maybe it was a fireplace, and then when they need more and more water, they just made it a bit deeper and filled it up with water. Best explanation that we have of this place. Can you guess what was the purpose of this hole? Crime happened in the city as well.
Prison.
Yes. This? Yeah. They put people inside of that. At least in 17th century, they were using single weeks. They had to stand up. So, they had to stand up. They were walking down this street. This was a main road. And jails like that were similar, but I think two girls that sit in the front.
Oh, they're here. They're here.
Alrighty, now this was an apothecary, a pharmacy. The same, so this is how it must have looked, but the bricks were changed. What remained original is this behind part. You see there's a small arc right behind. There, archaeologists found remainings and traces of different herbs. And ancient people were using different herbs they were mixing up different herbs and creating different remedies. So most probably, as you already guessed, lots of kids over here. And when I was studying at school, we also had a school excursion over here. And our teacher was explaining some parts, and she told us that I remember is getting stuck over there and my classmates pulling on my feet to get me out. So try to make a wish, crawl there if you want to, but would not recommend from my personal experience.
Well, I wish you see to get out.
To get out, yeah. Okay, there's one more very interesting thing that I want to show you over here. Over here was a wine press.
Wine press?
Yes, wine press. You have seen it in Gahati already. Wooden wine presses where with your bare feet you start stepping on the grapes and juice comes out. When typically how wine presses work is that nowadays we don't use them anymore. There are special mechanical wine presses. But in early 20th century, even earlier than that, we were using wooden wine presses that are made out of chestnut wood. Chestnut juice comes out in one place, sits in another place.
They use grapes.
A wine press is dangerously close to the fire. All the
Makes sense. Wine is a medicine.
wine is a medicine, exactly. Second idea is that the whole place had a dome as well, because we see that there are walls. As a king or his castle. So this place is Lord's castle. We don't know who that king or lord was. The pillars are going up and connecting to that square shape that you can see. We don't know when exactly, but throughout the time it got damaged and it deteriorated, and now it's coming fresh life. And encouraged. And in the back part, you see Russia. Live in Russian, which is a Russian. Since 2004, this place didn't really know. So that's the same thing over here. There's no. It has the middle part, right part, and left. So that kind of dome is what we call basilica. And three-nave basilica because it's divided into three parts: middle part, right part, and left part. Because before 1924, that's the eastern part. And that's where priests would preach. A Christian church, most probably this was a ritualic temple. In Christianity, they did not need a sacrificial place in the middle of the church, so they and wider. Also, all the caves. You will also notice that at some point there are dark spots in the. You see some sort of shape in the house, like a skull. Yep. Imagine that it is
Secret
the
tunnel.
15th century, Mongolians are chasing us, so we have to escape. You're gonna see that there are wooden stairs going down. Thank you. And if you take a look down, you're gonna see that
You need to see it.
similar to over there. And the other wooden thing that you see with clay stuffed inside is tone. That's where we.
Today is October 21st. We're going on a day tour outside Tbilisi. We're waiting for our tour guide outside this metro station under construction. So this
I understand. You can work.
So we're waiting for our tour here in the tour office.
So funny. He's always like, okay, picture. Okay.
Let's start from the front, move on to the back. You can share anything. Line.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. And we did a boat ride last
Okay,
night.
nice.
The lights were so beautiful. So I was there.
Thank you so much. This amount, since most of you have already. Okay.
Stalin's Ali.
We still have stew, sort of, which costs 45 lari per person. If I will be guiding you through Stalin's museum as well. Entrance ticket is 15 lari again. You will be cautious with the timing because as well. And afterwards we're gonna go to Mtkvari Monastery. Mtkvari is relatively smaller. Most probably when we arrive outside, I will explain the inside part for you. Drive from Mtkvari Monastery is going to be around 45 minutes to 1 hour. Most probably by UNESCO. And also the whole city of Mtkvari is protected by UNESCO. Actually, he was the one who founded Tbilisi. And we have a beautiful legend regarding how Tbilisi was founded. Hydroelectric station, and Ergo is one of the. In Georgia, we have approximately 20. So that's why we construct like this about 80% of our electricity on our own.
like the Philippines, huh? How many kilometers is this trip? 65?
God, till Mtkvari, maybe till Gori. So
60, okay.
a bit more than 60 kilometers. Yeah, approximately 100 kilometers.
Okay.
Front, you are going to UNESCO sites. On the way back, the evening mass starts around 5 p.m. Now to your left, you see the old capital city of Uplistsikhe. We are going to visit on this trip. And also, as I told you as well, Uplistsikhe still remains as one of the main religious centers. Let's talk about Christianity now. You may already know that when she was 14 years old, she had a vision that she should go to the Caucasus region and spread Christianity there. So first, religion is Roman Empire, but required to make transition from one religion to another easier. And the official year when we changed to
Georgians are Orthodox.
no, not only Georgians, but we have lots of ethnically Azeri people that are living here, lots of Turkish people that are living here, so lots of Muslims. Also, we have lots of Jews. We have lots of agreement with the Pope, and they were allowing them to stay Catholics. They were not killing Catholics, they were killing just Orthodox. So lots of Georgians switched religion from Orthodoxism to Catholicism so that they would still remain Christian and not have to follow. Yeah, we don't have too many Catholics now, but still lots of them are not. Lots of Orthodox churches, and the old Tbilisi Juma Mosque is the only. Actually, you have noticed a fortress that we have next to the statue of Ordinary Allah comes from Perch because Tbilisi was broken too many times. In this time, Georgia becomes part of Soviet Union for almost 70 democratic years of independence. We had 4 wars. In 1991, just months after Russia again invades in Georgia, and we had a war that lasted up to 1 month as well. And so we had lots of casualties. Of course, the city of homes and became what we call the crawling occupation, which means that for years, sounds very funny, but it's not funny because he could not escape the territory anymore, and kidnapped one of the soldiers.